Have you ever just wanted to get something off your chest? It's like a crazy confession. Like something that's just been gnawing at your noggin. Just take that weight off your shoulders and finally be free. Well, let me tell y'all, this is the perfect subreddit to react to today. It's called r/true off my chest. That's right, we're back with another Reddit episode. It's been a minute. Way too long, actually. I feel like I've been in sort of a rut with this content stuff recently, and I feel like I need to expand my horizons and get into like some other stuff. Yeah. So basically, r/true off my chest, it's a place for people who need to just get something off their mind, you know, something that's just been gnawing at them for so long that they just have to type it down and put it on the internet for everyone to see and for people like me to react to. Yep. Today we're gonna be reading some crazy stories.
Prepare yourself.
Y'all know the drill. Let's get started. My parents don't let me have a single moment to masturbate. I'm 20F, and whenever I want to masturbate, it's like my parents sense it. I swear, it almost feels supernatural at this point. The moment I get comfortable, they suddenly start calling me. Can you fold the laundry? Can you start the dishwasher? Can you clean the table? Can you take out the trash? Like, why now? And the worst part is when I can't do it like I planned, I end up getting moody towards them, and then I feel guilty because it's not even their fault. I know I can just wait until they go to sleep, and I do that sometimes, but there are days when I just can't wait. Little freakazoid right here. Some people just need to get those urges out. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's just human biology, human nature. It's not really something I can just ignore or postpone, you know? Also, I can't do it in the shower or anything like that. I need to be comfortable in my bed, so it's not something quick either. So yeah, on those days, I'm just annoyed all day because of this, and I always feel bad about it. You don't have to feel bad about that, bro. That's just your body telling you need to get your freak on. That's just your body telling you you need to do something quick, fast, pleasurable. Yeah. Sorry guys, that was gross. Maybe just tell your parents like, oh, I can't do that right now, I need to study, or like tell them that you could do it later. It's not the end of the world if the laundry isn't folded for 30 minutes or however long it takes for you to finagle the daggle. I broke up with my boyfriend after he pushed someone into a fire, but I feel so broken. What? I feel like that's a good reason to break up with somebody. Pushing someone into a fire. That's like, you know, human sacrifice type stuff. That's kind of scary. I, 19F, broke up with my boyfriend, 22F. We'll call him T. T. Yo, T, what's up, T? Yeah. Why you pushing people into a fire? It's not a good look on you, pal. He was my first serious relationship, and we've liked each other for a year before we even got together, which makes it sting more. We had a great relationship, and we got along so well. At least, I thought. Cat. Yeah. What a username. Just call her Cats. You know how to draw people in. At least I thought. It's like that. But the reason why we broke up is because of this huge thing that he did of his causing. We were supposed to have a birthday bonfire at the beach for T's birthday on the 24th. Not only did he decide to drink, but he also brought firecrackers. I was the designated driver, so I didn't really care, but he invited a lot of his friends, and it was really fun at first. I was having a great time with all the other girlfriends, and the music was good, until one of his friends, we'll call him Jay, threw a firecracker at T's head. Okay, that's kind of ridiculous, bro. That's a push-worthy offense for sure. Firecracker at the head? Really? For perspective, T doesn't really like Jay. He felt obligated to invite him, so that's why he was invited. But in relation, T threw a beer can at Jay, walked over to where he was, and pushed him. But he pushed him into the fire. I saw this from a distance, but I still saw him in the fire. Luckily, he was pulled out quickly enough that only his arm burned. But everyone panicked. Jay's arm was melted off. Some parts had third-degree burns. Holy crap.
Melted off?
Ugh, that's kind of nasty. Like Two-Face, bro. Not like Two-Face. What am I talking about? That's crazy. Melted off. Ew. While T was apologizing, he was saying, I'm sorry, but you threw a firecracker at me. He wasn't even totally apologizing. I remember pacing the beach away from everyone else, trying to process what just happened. I felt so blindsided, so embarrassed. I didn't want to talk to T ever again. After that, I made T get a ride home with one of his buddies while I drove my brother home. Jay went to the hospital and stayed for a week or so due to the pain. I didn't see his arm, but he might not get full articulation of it, and he might have to get skin grafting surgery. But apparently T is going to get what's coming for him. Jay is going to sue T for $1 million. And after I heard that on Sunday, I knew it was over, just because then he will have to deal with it for financially the rest of his life. So you broke up with him because he was going to be $1 million in debt? Girl, I see you. I wouldn't want to be $1 million in debt either. But to be fair, he did get a firecracker thrown at him. Maybe he didn't see the fire pit. He was drunk. Things went pretty bad, but I feel like it could have been worse. You know, he could have had his face melted off. Like Two-Face. If Jay would have been in the fire for 2 to 3 more seconds longer, he would have died. If he didn't wear a hat, his scalp would have burned. If he didn't wear a thick shirt, his chest would have burned. Yeah. Definitely could have been worse. So last Monday, I broke up with him. It was one of the hardest things I had to do, and I still struggle with it so much. I know it'll probably be for the best, and in the end, I'll learn so much from it. But I want to reach out to him, see him, touch him, but I can't. And I feel so broken. Cats, Go get your mans. Nah, I'm kidding. It's probably best for you to not see him because he is getting sued for $1 million. You can sue somebody that doesn't have $1 million for $1 million? Is that how that works? I thought you could sue them for all they have, but you can just have like a set amount and they just have to pay that off. Imagine having like a fire pit sue debt. I feel like there's a better name for that. Let's just say an accident debt for the rest of your life as part of your monthly payments, bro. Like you got your gas bill, you got your phone bill, you got life insurance, and then you got $1 million to pay off because you pushed a guy in a fire. Honestly, I feel like I'd just be like pissed off the fact that I did that. He's already decided to stop drinking and smoking, but when I saw him, I felt nothing. I still miss him, I still want him, and I'm still attracted to him. As silly as it seems, I still crave his validation and his wanting. I knew his broke his heart, but his actions broke mine. This girl knows how to write. I'm like invested, bro. Are y'all gonna get back together, bro? I don't want y'all to get back together just for the plot. See where it goes, you know? Just like maybe go out on a single date. One single date ain't hurt nobody. The only person that's hurt is Jay. Whenever I'm home, I don't want to be there. I want to leave. I feel like such a bum when I'm home and not doing anything. I work, I go to school, but I feel so alone. I'm just sort of a mess. Luckily, I start therapy again, and my first session is on Tuesday. Honestly, I think you're feeling like this because you just broke up with your boyfriend, who was your first serious relationship. It definitely alters some sort of your brain chemistry. Like your first love, you never truly forget your first love. But yeah. That's crazy, bro. $1 million in debt. I'm gonna keep it a buck, y'all. If I had $1 million in debt, I'm grabbing my nearest shotgun. You know how that story ends. My girlfriend has shown something I don't think I can see past. Ooh. I don't know why I turned French. Sorry, guys. My girlfriend, female 27, and I, male 27, had an argument last night that shouldn't have been as big as it was, but she has shown some things about how she views me that I don't know if I'll be able to move past. We've been together 2.5 years and moved in together about 7 months ago. It has mostly been smooth sailing. She does have some depression and anxiety issues, but we have always been able to manage. The bits that frustrate me most about it is that she goes quiet for hours at a time over what I see as little things, and she gets really frustrated and upset over little things and things that are just life. For example, if we have a few busy weekends in a row, she gets sad and frustrated that she has no time to herself. And if we have a chill weekend, she gets sad and frustrated about not doing something. I could see how that gets annoying. That low-key is just life. Kind of feeling you mildly amuse Mars. I'm gonna call you Mars. Also, our sex life has taken a dive due to her depression and issues she's been dealing with in therapy. But I can manage that with a wank in the shower. It's the rest I struggle with. A wink. So this dude's British. You're telling me I gotta read this in a British accent the rest of the time. Here we go. Other important context is I make a nice bit more money than her, but I also pay more of the rent, bills, and pretty much fund our entire social lives, and occasionally give her money to help her out. Was that tough or not? Am I British, bro? Pip pip. Cheerio. Can go get some fish and shit. I'm sorry. If you're British and you're watching this, I apologize. But was my accent good though? Should I continue to do it?
Definitely not right.
Okay. Now the cause of the argument last night. She had plans this weekend that I was invited along to, as it was assumed other boyfriends would be there. At dinner, she said that I would be the only man there and she didn't mind if I didn't come. I was happy enough with that and told her so, and that I had been asking to do something with my friends earlier that day that I had initially turned down due to these plans. So all that was grand. I let my friends know I would be available and the plans are still on. Okay. I like this. It's like rising tension right now. I'm like at the edge of my seat, just like waiting to see what actually happens. Before bed, I listened to a voice note from my friend who was saying the plans had changed a bit and we would need to stay overnight and travel home in the morning instead of getting home at around 11:30 p.m. Now my girlfriend knew she'd be gone out before I'd be home anyway and wouldn't have been home till about 3 a.m. herself. This seemed to put her into one of her weird quiet moods. I assume because she wasn't keen on me staying overnight somewhere last minute, despite her missing no real time with me outside of her coming home drunk and falling asleep, which honestly annoyed me a bit. So instead of trying to get her to talk about it, I left it until she came to me. There it is. Communication. I think that's where the problem started, bro. I get it. Sometimes it's frustrating when someone you know is like having moods and stuff like that and they just won't talk about it unless you like pry it out of them. Sometimes you gotta put yourself in their shoes. Like think to yourself, why would she be acting like this? Why would she be stressed out about all this stuff? Like maybe take a moment, consider your options before you stop communicating altogether. When she started warming to me again, she was annoyed that I hadn't tried to get her to talk about it like I often do. She then said the issue was that we never make plans together and that I can suddenly and quickly make plans with my friends, which I refuted as we are literally always busy doing things and have plans together for the next 2 weekends after this one. The first organized by her and the next by me. Pointing this off annoyed her more and she started listing recent things we had done she had planned, and in return, I listed the ones I had made for us. This was really annoying to me as I felt like she was invalidating all my efforts, saying things like, you only organized us to go on hikes and walks. This is bad. Yo, listen bro, relationships aren't like notches like on a a whiteboard to who's done what. It's not a competition. It's a team game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a one-on-one. It's a 2v everything. Once you start being like, oh, you do this and I do this. When you start doing that, there's this underlying issue of being like, I don't feel like you're putting effort like I'm putting effort, which is a completely valid reason to like be upset about stuff. But tell your partner that. Don't just assume that they know what you're going through. They're not mind readers, bruh. Which is untrue. As well as I do organize other bits, going to parties, drinks, dinners, etc. The plans she makes are almost exclusively dinners, drinks, and weekends away that I end up paying for. And she seems to be annoyed that I don't plan weekends away too, despite the fact that the trips away she plans blows through that budget for me most of the time, and the plans for 2 weeks time that I've made, which are for my birthday by the way, involve 2 nights away. When I said this, she turned on me saying, I don't even want to go to X now. X is a plan for my birthday I made with her in mind, and what we are doing is right up her alley as well as mine. This kind of shook me a bit and ended the argument, and we went to sleep. All I can think about is how she doesn't want to do something I want to do for my birthday, and it's something she would normally want to do. She didn't suggest any alternate plans, just that she has a problem with mine. I feel like she views me as a wallet and doesn't care about things I actually want to do or just care about me in general. I know if I confront her, she'll bring up her depression and anxiety, and while valid, it's only ever an excuse with her, and she doesn't seem to be trying to improve it in the terms of the way she treats me. I know these frustrations have been building up for a while in me, but I was able and willing to keep going as I thought she would improve with therapy and time. I'm usually very happy-go-lucky and can normally let things go very easily, but this argument and the thoughts I'm having after it are really sticking with me and making me frustrated, angry, / upset. Maybe it's time to go to some couples therapy. Maybe that'll help. That was a long one. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Okay, he said that whenever he brings up his frustrations, she like deflects and turns it onto her depression and anxiety. That would be pretty frustrating to go up against all the time. Oh, you make me feel like this. Well, I'm depressed. That's kind of a win every time type of card. You know what I'm saying? I'm being so for real. Go to couples therapy or something. Or just try to have a conversation. Stop using you as the first pronoun you say in the sentence. Be like, I feel like. Because once you start saying like, you don't do this, you don't do that, you're putting the blame on them. And of course, people are gonna get defensive. You don't do this.
What the frick? Yes, I do. You don't do that.
That was like exhausting to read, bro. They go out every weekend? Chill out, bro. How about you like stay indoors? Maybe watch a show every once in a while, you know? My poop disappeared into thin air. Here we freaking go, tough monkey. Let's go. This is somewhat unsettling to me, but I don't have anyone I feel comfortable sharing it with in real life. So you lovely people get the honors.
Us?
Okay, wait. I'm kind of excited to read this story now. This morning I had my typical cup of coffee and started my day, but work got off to a hectic start and I couldn't take any break until around noon. Then I had to run an errand. During this entire time, the urge to perch upon the porcelain throne was steadily increasing, but I had to just push through. Hopefully not hard enough to where like you start turtling, you know what I'm saying? By 12:45, I was in dire straits, sweating through my clothes, stomach making ungodly noises, sphincter approaching critical alert mode. Dude, you're cooked. You're about to poop your pants, bro. Sphincter, golly, what a vernacular this guy has. I finally waddle / trot my way home and stumble into the bathroom at just about T-1. Those types of poops though, the freaking anxiety you have of being like,
I'm about to poop my pants.
and then you get on the toilet and it's like straight down. The amount of relief you feel, bro. Low-key, some of the best types of poops to have. High risk, high reward type stuff. Not gonna go into details here, but suffice to say the next minute was incredibly relieving and I'm glad I was alone in the house. I get up to flush and glance reflexively into the bowl and I'm shocked to see that apart from the toilet paper, the water was completely clear. I even poked around gingerly to confirm that there was no presence. Don't judge me. I washed my hands after and was genuinely alarmed. Whoa. You stuck your hand in the toilet bowl? What the frick? What do you mean you poked around in there? I'm not even sure the main emotion I'm feeling right now. This is going to haunt me for a long time. What if you like pooped so hard that it just went straight down into the sewer, bro? Could that happen? What a story, bro. What a poop. A poop so good that it just goes straight into the sewage system. Like the curvature and all that stuff just like perfect. From bum to sewer. That's crazy. All right, y'all. Last one. Here we go. I'm addicted to giving myself eargasms and I'm scared I'm gonna damage my ears. What the frick is an eargasm? I forgot how it started. I hate the idea of cleaning earwax out of my ears. They do tend to get clogged with something. I don't know why. And get tingly until I stick my finger in there and that makes it go away most of the time, okay? But I realized a little while ago that sticking a twisted corner of toilet paper or other soft paper materials in my ear and wiggling it a lot before ripping it out gives me like a little eargasm. What the frick? My brain shuts down for a few seconds, my body curls up violently, and my eyes roll into the back of my head. It's amazing, and I can just do it over and over again for like an hour or two if I'm bored. Okay, I feel like you're overloading your brain with all that freaking dopamine, bro. You're definitely like changing your brain chemistry with this stuff. But I know what they say about putting stuff in your ears, and every once in a while I actually get too far and it hurts. So I tried stopping entirely, but my ears got more tingly than they used to and my finger didn't itch it anymore. Okay. Where is this going, bruh? I tried replacing it with masturbation. What the frick? But all that led to me was realizing that... But all that led to me was realizing that finishing while sticking something in my ear gives me like a mega orgasm. What the frick, bro? That's wild. Bro just found out a kink. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Brain shuts off for a whole minute or so, even after the climax is done, and it just feels euphoric. But that's even worse because sometimes my ear gets sore afterwards, and I'm pretty sure it's because I get too far. I don't want to damage my ears, but I can't stop. I've never heard it too much yet, but I feel like it's a matter of time. Listen, y'all. Sometimes I like digging in my ear. Sometimes. Not all the time like this. Okay. Not this far. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the whole eargasm thing, but it feels good for sure. But
That's crazy.
I feel like that's a good ending point. All right, well, that was r/true off my chest. Those were some confessions for sure. Yeah, Reddit. What an interesting space. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below, do all that jazz. Watch some more videos on this channel if you're up for it. But most importantly, have a great day. That's a wrap.